Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is your boy, the gifted one, Gifted Gamer. So today, we're gonna take a look at this video by the Wall Street Journal. I think they just dropped this video not too long ago. I think it was about like 6 hours ago. Yeah, 6 hours ago. And they are basically, talking about how the Xbox lost the console war, but now they're trying to like redefine themselves in the gaming industry. So I just wanted to make a quick video on this and just watch it with you guys and see what we think about it. So if you're new here, you already know. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and let's get into it.
Is the Xbox Series X, Microsoft's most powerful flagship console. For a long time, you needed an Xbox to play games like Halo or Gears of War. Then Microsoft decided you don't. So it launched a monthly subscription service that lets users play the latest games on a bunch of other devices.
Game Pass.
But it's increasingly competitive and will take a lot of investment to make it work. So will this shift pay off? And what does it mean for the future of the console?
See, for me, that's where Xbox messed up at. Like, once they decided to go all in on Game Pass, it was a wrap. And right there, they lost the console war. Because there's no way that you telling me that you're gonna be able to make a subscription service to put all your day one games that all your developers are working so hard on. You know what I'm saying? This takes time. This takes money. Like, making a game is not easy, especially those AAA games. So all the Xbox developers that they got under the umbrella. So now you got these people working hard around the clock trying to make the best game possible for you to just go right ahead and just put their game that they worked so hard on, and you're just gonna go and put it on a subscription service on Game Pass. The developer, they're not gonna feel satisfied with that because they see how hard they work. They want to see how much their game can sell in the market. You know what I'm saying? So that to me was like what killed the Xbox console. But yeah, let's continue.
This is the economics of Xbox. Today, with more than 30 game studios, Xbox is an industry mainstay.
But it had to really earn that position in the market.
The console war began in the 1970s, when video game companies started competing to
Atari.
create more powerful...
Yo, Atari's throwback. I think I played that first one, the 2600. I was just so young, I can't remember. But let me tell you something. That Atari right there, that was the first controller I picked up, and that's what made me, fall in love with video games. That right there. And I was so young. I only got to play, I think it was for like about 10 minutes, and it was a wrap.
Console and win more customers. By the 90s, the biggest players were Sony, Nintendo, and Sega. And in 1990,
the good old days,
consumer spending on consoles surpassed arcades for the first time. A few years later, Microsoft entered the scene with its first-generation Xbox. To entice customers into their ecosystems, most of these companies tried to keep the prices on their consoles as low as possible, selling them at a loss. Xbox loses up to $200 per console, but the brands made up the difference by selling games and other accessories.
Exclusivity.
The more consoles you sell, the more software you're going to sell with it.
The PlayStation outsold the Xbox every single...
So yeah, that tells you right there. They're at a loss when they sell consoles, but how they're gaining their money is from the game, from the exclusivity games. Okay, so that's where Xbox is messing up at. They're not selling their games. They're putting their games on Game Pass, so they're not making the profit. As to PlayStation, they're making their profits because they're not putting all their exclusive games day one on the PlayStation Plus premium. You know what I'm saying? So that's $70 a game. Like, how much did Spider-Man 2 sell? It was like 13 million or something like that. Like, all these games are selling, go into the high, well, not all of them, but most of them go into the high millions. They're making their money back. You know? Xbox, on the other hand, they're not doing it. They took a different approach, and that's what messed them up. And look at the greatest selling console of all time right here, PlayStation 2. 155 million. Look at this. This is crazy. And look at, this is peak Xbox right here. The Xbox 360 days. That's what everybody talks about. And look at the PlayStation 3. So even at its peak, it couldn't compete with PlayStation. And the thing is, PlayStation's been around like for a very long time. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to compete with that. Like, as far as this generation, when you're talking about Nintendo's is a totally different animal that we talking about. Nintendo has its fan base no matter what. They could drop the same Mario game 4 times and it'll sell. Like, they have their fan base locked. You know what I'm saying? So this is crazy right here, man.
Single time. Microsoft only came close to beating Sony with the Xbox 360. Analysts say this was because the PlayStation 3, which ran customers up to $600, was priced too high.
Wow.
But the Xbox lost ground with the next generation, and ultimately, it lost the console war. In 2017, Xbox launched Game Pass, positioning itself as a service.
Oh, here we go.
It's more interested in making content available to people on whatever device they choose to play on.
Game Pass is a tiered service. The least expensive plans offer gaming on either console or PC, and the most expensive plan has multi-device gaming and other features like streaming games from the cloud and access to certain games the day they're released.
That ain't it.
Microsoft is betting that it can get more customers if they don't have to buy a console. This model also gives the company a recurring revenue stream, so it doesn't have to rely as much on blockbuster successes.
So Game Pass solves the problem on the consumer side by making lots of content available for cheap, and on the business or the supply side in terms of offsetting the financial volatility associated with entertainment.
Microsoft's head of gaming, Phil Spencer,
oh, there's your boy.
Game Pass is profitable.
There's your boy. Yo, there's your boy right there. We call him Lies of P over here. My man, Uncle Phil. This is it's crazy.
In that 10 to 15% of our overall revenue.
But Microsoft isn't the only one stepping into the subscription world. In 2022, Sony merged its subscription services, PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now, and relaunched it to compete with Game Pass. There are 2 key things that give Microsoft an edge. First, it's a much larger company with lots and lots of money. And for the past decade, Microsoft has been using that money to acquire game studios, beefing up its library. In 2014, it bought Mojang, the maker of Minecraft, for $2.5 billion. In 2021, it bought ZeniMax Media, owner of Fallout and Doom, for $8.1 billion.
That's
and in 2023...
Yo, that was in 2014 they spent 2.5? That's crazy. Then in 2021, 8.1?
Finalized the purchase of Activision Blizzard, the maker of Call of Duty and Candy Crush, for $70...
Bro. Look at this. Just look this. That's crazy. That's almost $90 billion, man. Like, that's insane. And it's like, for what? Like, you look at this, right? Look at this. And then you just think about all the games that Xbox comes out with, like all their exclusives, you know? And it's like, where are these companies at? Like, where are the games at? You know, like, I don't understand. It's crazy. It's crazy to me.
$5.4 billion.
To put it in perspective, that is a little bit less than what Sony makes annually.
Second, as a giant tech company, Microsoft owns lots and lots of data centers, over 300 worldwide, some of which help support Game Pass and cloud gaming.
The incumbents like Nintendo and Sony, they live and die on great content and this magnificent retail distribution infrastructure that they build. So it's in Microsoft's interest to push into its data centers and its infrastructure in the cloud, because it can't beat Sony and Nintendo at retail.
This puts it in an arena that mainly other massive tech companies like Amazon, Nvidia, and Google can really compete in. But there are lots of obstacles. To start, adoption has been slow. In 2020, it targeted 71% subscriber growth and reached
Game Pass.
86%. But the following year, it fell short. And in
Wow.
2022, it missed its target by a long shot.
Wow.
Some people are
This
just
is
not
what I'm-
comfortable with the idea of not actually owning a game. They may want to play a game, put it down for 6 months and pick it up later, or a year later or more. And it may not be in the subscription service anymore after that time.
So
Exactly. She said it right there. She said it right there. Everything you needed to know. Like, you know, people like to buy their games. This whole thing of you're renting, Game Pass is you're renting the game. So in order for you to play that game, you will have to be subscribed to Game Pass forever, because you don't own the game. And that's not even forever. That's until they decide to take it off the subscription. So you will still have to be subscribed to them until who knows how long. That means if you ever decide, you know what, I don't want to be paying for Game Pass anymore, Dumb Games is gone. You don't have any of those games, you know? So that's not the way to go. And that's why I feel like Xbox just is going downhill.
2024, Game Pass has amassed 34 million subscribers. Some of the biggest challenges are specific to cloud gaming, a feature included in Game Pass's top tier. Traditionally, game data was stored locally on cartridges, discs, or downloaded straight to the console. With online multiplayer games, data like each player's actions were streamed. But with cloud gaming, the entire game is streamed to your device, which can be laggy.
If it's a competitive game, a millisecond can mean the difference between winning and losing.
Cloud gaming is also
Exactly.
expensive to operate.
The economics have changed, but they haven't immediately changed to only run a profit. Both of those offerings, whether those are product-based and conventional or whether they are streaming and more digital, both of those run at a loss in principle, but to recuperate and to earn money in those contexts is a very different proposition.
One report found that just 6% of gamers around the world were subscribed to a cloud gaming service in 2023. Still, experts believe it will grow substantially.
Cloud gaming is one of those few components where they could possibly thrive and lead, even if that's a much more modestly sized industry.
Microsoft isn't getting rid of the Xbox anytime soon. Later this year, it will release new versions of its current generation.
Oh, there it is.
X and S. But it's clear that Xbox views its content
$600
as the future of the company, not its hardware.
It is incredibly difficult for these large companies, in spite of their resources, to be agile and innovative. And so, they're always watching someone else just run the show. And so in many ways, you could make the argument that the current effort and investment towards Game Pass and xCloud and all of the things that they're building and acquiring goes towards perhaps finally being in the driver's seat for the first time.
Giving it the chance to win whatever the new gaming war will be.
Yeah, so there you have it. See that last part, they were talking about like cloud gaming and stuff, and the lady said it. It's just, even if you, especially if you're trying to play competitive, like every millisecond counts. So banking on cloud gaming is gonna be tough. If that's what they're trying to do, it's gonna be very hard to pull that off. Because you know how it is when you're playing Call of Duty or Madden or 2K, on like everything counts. Like every millisecond counts. So yeah, man. Those were my thoughts on this quick video. So if you liked the video, just hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share the video if you want. And I'll see y'all back on the next one, all right? Peace.